Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the English class. I would like to begin our class with a small message. We can win our life by all means if we simply avoid two things in our life: comparing with others and expecting from others. Okay, let us move into the class. In this class, I am going to teach you an interesting poem in Unit 4, The Spider and the Fly, by Mary Botham Ovid. And it is a fable. You all know very well the meaning of the word fable. It means a short story to teach a moral lesson, often with animals or inanimate objects as characters. At the end of this poem, you will learn a very good message from this poem. Before we move into the poem, let us see about the author. Mary Botham Ovid, 1799 to 1888, was an English poet. She was born at Colford in Gloucestershire. It is in United Kingdom. United Kingdom means the London. She was educated at home and read widely. She commenced writing verses at a very early age. Commenced means began writing poems. Together with her husband, William Ovid, she wrote over 180 books. And here a list of glossary is given. Glossary means vocabulary. Next, a silly fly was hovering over the flowers when she saw a spider web. She came nearer when she heard a voice. This poem, the first line of the poem is, "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. The story tells of a cunning spider who entraps a fly into its web through the use of seduction and manipulation. The poem is a cautionary tale against those who use flattery and charm to disguise their true intentions. So it is a cautionary poem. Now let us move into the poem. "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. "This the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many curious things to show when you are there." So here a spider speaks to a fly to come to his winding stair. Parlor. Parlor means a small room. So the spider asked the fly, "Will you walk into my parlor? Will you walk into my room?" said the spider to the fly. "This is the prettiest little parlor that you did spy." And told that this is the prettiest. Prettiest means beautiful parlor room that the fly never spy. Spy means see. "The way into my parlor is up a winding stair." How can we go into the parlor of a spider? Through a winding stair. Winding means twisting stair steps. And I have many things, curious, interesting things to show when you are there. When you come, I will show you many curious things, interesting things, said the spider to the fly. Oh, no, no, said the little fly, to ask me is in vain, for who goes up your winding stair can never come down again. Now the fly answers to the spider. Oh, no, 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 said the little fly. To ask me is in vain. Vain means useless. You- If you ask me, it is useless. For who goes up your winding stair can never come down again, said the fly. If anybody goes to your winding stair, they can never come again. They can never return back, said the fly to the spider. I'm sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed? Said the spider to the fly. There are pretty curtains drawn around. The sheets are fine and thin, and if you like to rest a while, I will snugly tuck you in. Next, the spider tells, I'm sure you must be weary. Weary means tired, dear. With soaring, soaring means rising up and high. So you are the fly is flying continuously, rising up and down high. So you must be tired, said the spider to the fly. Will you rest upon my little bed? So come and take rest in my bed, said the spider to the fly. There are pretty curtains drawn around, pretty good, beautiful curtains, clothes drawn, hang around my parlor. The sheets are fine and thin, and if you like to rest a while, I will snugly tuck you in. If you want to take rest a while, I will snugly tuck you in. I will take to into my bed. Oh, no, no, said the little fly, for I have often heard it said, they never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed. So now the fly answers to the spider once again, no, I will never come to your bed, and I will never take rest on your bed, or I will never sleep on your bed, because those who sleep on your bed never wake again, said the fly to the spider. Next, said the cunning spider to the fly, dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I have always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you are very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? Next, the cunning spider, because it has the evil mind. Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection? What can I do to prove my affection, my love towards you? I have felt always for you. I have within my pantry good stores. Pantry means what? A room where food items are stored. And I am sure you are very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? So from the store, will you take a slice, a piece of any kind of food? Next. Oh, no, no, said the little fly. Kind sir, that cannot be. I have heard what's in your pantry, and I do not wish to see. So now the fly answered the spider that he does not want to see his pantry. Sweet creature, said the spider, you are witty and you are wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings! How brilliant are your eyes! I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf. If you will step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself. So now the spider the spider attempted 3 times to make the fly come into his winding stair, but it was failed. So now the spider uses the admiring words to tempt the fly to come inside his house. By the words, sweet creature, you are witty. Witty means what? Witty means intelligent, and you are wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings? Means beautiful, very thin wings. How brilliant are your eyes? How bright are your eyes? I have a little looking glass, mirror, upon my parlor shelf. If you will step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself. You shall see. You can look at yourself in the mirror, said the spider to the fly. I thank you, gentle sir, she said, for what you are pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now. I will call another day. But the fly answered that, thank you, gentle sir, for what you are pleased to say. Whatever you said, thank you very much. And bidding you good morning. Bidding means giving farewell, saying goodbye. And I will call another day. The fly said, I will call you another day. The spider turned him round about and went into his den, for well he knew the silly fly would soon come back again. So he wove a subtle web in a little corner sly and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. So now the spider turned him round about, turned back, and went into his den. Den means what? Cave. For well he knew the silly fly would come soon back again. So he knew, the spider knew that the fly would come back again. So he wove. He made a subtle web. Subtle means fine web in a little corner sly and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. And he made a table, the corner of the web, to dine. Dine means to eat upon the fly. Next, then he came out to his door again and merrily did sing. Come hither, pretty fly, with the pearl and silver wing. Your robes are green and purple. There is a crest upon your head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. So now, after that, the spider came out of his door and merrily sing. He sang a song merrily, happily. Sang, come hither, pretty fly, with the pearl and silver wing. Pearl, her wings are look like pearl and silver, glittering. Your robes are green and purple robes, your cloths. In that wings, the robes are very green and purple. There is a crest. A crest means hump upon your head. A small crest, a small peak, summit on the fly's head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright. Your eyes are very bright like diamond, but mine are dull. But the spider's eyes are very dull like lead. Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, hearing his wily, flattering words, came slowly flighting by. With buzzing wings, she hung aloft. Then, near the nearer tree, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of her crested head, poor foolish thing. So now, the silly fly became tempted by the words, flattering words of the spider, and she came slowly flitting by with buzzing wings. She hung aloft. Then nearer and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes. So she became admired by the words of the spider and came near to the spider's web. And green and purple he thinking only of her crested head. Poor foolish thing. So these are all only flattering words, admiring words to catch the fly by the spider. But the fly thought that the spider was really admiring her looking. So she came near to the web. At last, up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her up his winding stair into his dismal den within his little parlor, but she never came out again. At last, finally, when she came near to the web of the spider, up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. Fiercely means forcefully held her, caught her fast. He pulled her up his winding stair into his dismal den. Dismal den means dangerous, very gloomy, darkful cave within his little parlor. But she never came out again. After that, she never came out of the den, out of the web, the winding web. And now, dear little children, who may this story read? To idle, silly, flattering words, I pray you never give heed unto an evil counselor. Close art and hear an eye, and take a lesson from this tale of the spider and the fly. So now, at last, the poet Mary Botham Ovid tells the reader that we should not hear our ears, or we should not give any attention. Here, heed means attention to the silly flattering words of others and to an evil counselor. Evil means what? One who have bad thinking, bad thoughts. Close heart and hear an eye and take a lesson. We should learn a good lesson from this tale. Tale means story of the spider and the fly. Okay, students, now let us see the summary of this poem. The poem begins with the spider's pursuit of the fly. He chats to the fly to come into its home. The spider describes his parlor as the prettiest one. The spider kindles the curiosity of the fly so that she may enter his home. Fortunately, the fly was witty and refused to get into his home. Now, the spider pretends to be a host and asks her to come and rest in his home. He offers her food and a bed to rest. This time, also the fly declines the spider's offer very politely. The next weapon that the spider uses is flattery. The spider praises the wings and eyes of the fly and also praises her wisdom. He invites her to look at herself in the mirror which is in his parlor. The fly is tempted by the words of the spider and she falls a prey to her flattery. Okay, students, hope you might have learned this poem very well. Go through the text once again and read out all the poetic devices, the figure of speech. Try to find out those things, rhyming words, rhyme scheme, and everything. With this, I wind up this class. Thank you. Have a good day.